The train station of Roermond, right behind me, is located at the border of the Euregio, which isn't a real border and not a real region, but it comprises the provinces of Limburg in Belgium, and parts of North Rhine-Westphalen just over the border in Germany. I have a ticket to travel through the entirety of the Euregio today, but the check-in posts at Roermond station don't allow for tickets to be scanned, which means you can enter the train by just bringing your ticket, and once on board you might or might not be checked. The train behind me is leaving for Maastricht. I am traveling there later today, but my day is actually starting in Germany today. I'm going to Aken first. We are traveling in a region where 3 languages are spoken: Dutch, French and German. And yes, Vlaams is a dialect of Dutch, not a separate language. Something is happening. We were just told that we are about to stop for a red light because of a track fault. Oh boy, and we aren't even in Germany yet. Not a track fault, but a broken railroad crossing, so I'll have to pass that at very low speeds. And this is how slow you have to pass a broken railroad crossing. Someone crashed into it. Look, the barrier is broken. My transit time was 8 minutes and I have 4 minutes left because of the delays. Otherwise I have to wait half an hour at least, maybe an hour. Let's see if I can get to the train on time. As I am listening to a lengthy bit of information in 3 languages, a quick bit on what the Euregio is. The Euregio consists of parts of 3 countries, roughly centered around the triangle Maastricht, Luik and Aachen. The best way to show you is a part of a PDF from German public transport company AVV. If you hold a valid ticket, one you need to purchase before getting onto any of the trains in this zone, you can travel numerous trains and most buses for free on the day selected for your ticket. Today I'm specifically traveling on one line in the entire region. The train that runs, or at least should run, more on that later, between Aachen and Luik via Maastricht. I'll be doing that on the so-called Drielandentrein or Dreilanderzug or Train de Trois, because international it is. I started my day at Roermond station and will make my way to Aken as the starting point of the train mentioned earlier. So I've transferred the old 10 meters to platform 4, no train yet, so let's wait for it. In about 25 minutes we will be in the German city of Aken. My official, semi-official starting point of the day. I'm waiting for my train to pull in, but the train in the opposite direction towards Luik isn't operating, at least the first one on the schedule at 10:48. That's quite typical for a weekend, but I'll have to make the best out of it. And I guess one of my trains will also be cancelled, but oh well, the weather is nice and then I can enjoy Aken a little bit longer, or Luik, or Maastricht, or wherever I am later today. Some 20 minutes into the trip to Aachen, we cross a little stream that is the border between the Netherlands and Germany. We're also roughly halfway to our first destination, the German city of Aachen. And just like that, we've headed to Germany, where our train is reversing for its trip back to Liège. Traveling in the Euregio during weekends is €22.90. You can travel alone, like I'm doing. You can also bring one more adult and 3 kids during the weekend and national holidays. If it's a weekday though, you can only travel by yourself. When in Aken, eat like the Germans. A typical German pita dinner. Old train station looks really nice. I don't know what that is, but that's pretty ugly. Probably old by now, so you can't take it down anymore. This building is covered in anti-pigeon in black, so it's visible. If you want to buy a ticket for the Euregio, you can do that online. That's the easiest way. I bought mine from the Belgian railways. It will set you back €22.90 for a single day, all modes allowed travel ticket. The train that I'm going to take to Liège, or Luik as I would call it, is the so-called Drielandentrein, or three-country train, as it starts in Germany, crosses the Netherlands and then arrives into Belgium, or the other way around. It didn't run all the way to Belgium until very recently. Only about a year ago it was extended from Maastricht to Luik as well, now making it a proper three-country train. It's really quiet here. It's a Saturday, but still didn't expect it to be this quiet. Funded by the European Union, Dreilanderzug, Drielandentrein, de trois.
Verkehrsmittel oder Bankkarte reisen, vergewissern Sie sich, dass Sie eingecheckt haben.
We have just left Aachen Hauptbahnhof for Liège-Guillemins, which should take about 1.5 hours at the pace we are going. The train we're currently on, the Drielandentrein, is operated by Dutch company Arriva. From a rolling stock perspective, this train is nothing special. It's just a flirt, of which you see plenty around here in the region and in the Netherlands. It's just that this train crosses two borders and is sponsored by the European Union. This is the station of Herzogenrath, which is just across the border of Kerkrade. This was also the place where I made a video about 6 months ago when I was about freezing. I have a link to that video in the description below. And maybe there's a card in the upper right of your screen right now. And there is the train in the opposite direction. You have heard me using different names for cities. That's because most of them have different names in different languages. Liège is French and is Luik in Dutch and Lüttich in German. I would call Aachen Aken, but the French-speaking Belgians call it, drumroll please, Aix-la-Chapelle, or something like Chapel on Water. That's medieval times doing their thing influencing modern times.
Goedemiddag beste reizigers, zometeen station Heerlen, eindbestemming van deze trein. Indien u verder langs reist in de richting van Maastricht en dient u over te stappen op de stoptrein naar Maastricht, die om 13:53 vertrekt vanaf de spoor 3. So they cancelled my train. They decided that Heerlen was far enough for today. That means I have to transit to Maastricht and maybe wait for a train to Liège today. Will we make it? I'm not sure. Also, this is still typical. It happens a lot that trains are cancelled, shortened like this one, and then you have to fend for yourself. As the announcement was in Dutch only, some tourists were confused as to what was happening. So my train to Liège stops at Heerlen, not quite in Belgium. Let's see how we get there. Cancelled due to limited rolling stock. Yeah, very classic. So my train didn't run all the way to Liège because of limited rolling stock. I think if you have a once an hour train, you know how many train cars you need, right? But apparently not. This is Skin op Geul, and there is a thunderstorm brewing. Quite disappointing. This is my second stop in the trip that should be a direct train ride all the way from Aken to Liège or Luik. Actually, cancelling trains by Arriva like this is very common, not fairly, but very common. Trains will stop halfway, won't run at all, or just, I don't know, something happens with them. Instead of showing you the direct Drielandentrein between Aken and Luik, I'm showing you the regular mesh you can expect when you think you have a direct train between Aken and Luik. This is very common, but apparently nothing is really being done. There's no obvious punishment for the operator here. Here's a three-country train. It arrives from Liège and is actually continuing all the way to Aken, which means I probably should have taken this trip the other way around. In the clip before this one, you could see a Dreilandentrein pull into Maastricht station with its destination Aken. That's the one, and it doesn't go to Aken, but it terminates here and will reverse back to Liège. I guess we're taking that one. I think it needs more funding.
Het volgende station is Maastricht-Randwijk. Der nächste Bahnhof ist Maastricht-Randwijk. La prochaine gare, Maastricht-Randwijk.
The first railroad crossing you see flashing by is a Dutch one. As we are very close to the border, the very next one in less than 1 minute will be a Belgian railroad crossing. Can you spot at what timestamp we actually cross the border? Tip: don't look for a border fence or clearly marked border here, as it doesn't exist. Did you spot it? Let me know in the comments. We are entering the city of Luik now, or Liège as they like to call it. I deny that Germany has its own name for this city. Lüttich just sounds crazy. On the other hand, the French name for Aachen, Aix-la-Chapelle, also sounds very weird to me. Being Dutch, I normally use the original German name Aachen or the Dutch for it, Aken. The station of Lüttich is a massive glass structure that looks somewhat like a tortoise shell from a distance. Its open design fits in nice with the square in front of the station and the green hill directly behind it, if you're on the square looking at the station that is. We have made it to Luik, Liège or Lüttich as the Germans even call it. A little bit late and I have about 30 minutes for my return trip back home because I don't want to get stranded here by a train that doesn't run. I'm heading out for a bit, grab a quick snack and I'll be back at the train station before you know it. Looks like a big shell, huge glass structure. The area around the station here gives contradicting vibes. You have old buildings on that side. We have new buildings right behind me and there is a tram and a huge train station. So, if you want to travel the Euregio here, make sure you have plenty of times and not a real schedule and no real plans to do anything on a day, as cancellations, delays and trip curtailments are way too common. Thank you for watching and see you soon.